everyone, and welcome back. Today we have a big day. We are going to go ahead and start uppotting, so to speak, our tomatoes in the solo cups. Now, if you're new here, hi, my name is Kristy. I am located in Massachusetts, Zone 6A, with an average last frost date of May 15th. And today is going to be March 23rd. So these have been going for a few weeks now, and they definitely need to have some more soil added to the solo cups. So when we first started, we only had about halfway up the solo cup to maybe 3/4 of the way up with some potting soil, but now we need to go ahead and add some more. I'm not gonna add it all the way to the top. I wanna wait a few more weeks and then go ahead and complete the cup with a full set of some potting soil. So I just wanna first show you a couple of things with our tomatoes. So I first started growing my tomato seeds on Valentine's Day, actually. So that was going to be February 14th. And what I did was I did a bunch of them with some seeds starting just in a plain solo cup like this that I got from Costco or Walmart. And then I just put some seed starting mix, filled it about halfway, and added all of my tomato seeds and then labeled. And then I waited probably about a week or so when they germinated, and I started potting them up. Now, again, these were all started on February 14th. And I just want to show you the difference between the different techniques you can go ahead to grow your seedlings. Now, this is some cherry tomato seeds that I started on the 14th, but I probably waited about 2 or 3 weeks after they germinated to go ahead and pot them up. And they are very small, tiny, but they are doing great in these little 6-cell packs. And as you can see, the roots aren't root bound or anything yet, so they're doing well. Now, these tomatoes right here, again, they were grown on the same day, but look at the roots. I potted these up probably a week after they germinated, and they are definitely not happy right now. I need to go ahead and pot these up. I need to get some more solo cups cut up so I could get the triangle, so that way I can go ahead and pot them up. But they are not happy. Their roots are starting to run out of space, especially this one right here in the middle, with just the seed starting mix. So they're looking a little sad. I have been fertilizing them. I like to use Fox Farm. I think it's like Big and Grow or something with, there's a big tomato on it. But as you can see, the difference in just going ahead and potting them up. Now, so we have these little guys that I waited about 2 weeks or so. This was about a week after germination. And then this beautiful thing was potted up basically that weekend after they germinated. So there is a huge size difference in how healthy they are. It is looking great. This is why I love this method. Now, you can see that the roots are starting to grow at the bottom. You leave this marble here, and it forces you to go ahead and bottom water. And this is just like a yellow pear. And they just have the roots that keep sending down little roots, so that way I can go ahead and get the water that it needs to stay nice and healthy and hydrated. And I like to use Pro Mix. I actually had to do an order through Tractor Supply and have it delivered to the store, so that way I didn't have to pay for shipping, because they don't do the free shipping anymore on a $50 order. So that was kind of a pain. But as you can see, they look so nice and healthy. I will be pulling off these leaves right here, because sometimes they get a little bit sad, but I do need to go ahead and put some more because I need a stronger stem to be able to go out in the spring. So what we're gonna do is I am going to go ahead and probably pot it up halfway of whatever is left in the solo cup. Some have more than others. And just a little reference, if you need to know when you need to go ahead and bottom water, I like to go ahead and just squish the top. If it's a dark brown, it has some moisture in it. If it starts to turn to a light brown, like you can definitely tell the difference and gets a little bit crackly up top, you definitely wanna go ahead and bottom water. I usually fill it to this white or this little indent right here, or a little bit above. These are the clear solo cup variety. And, or you can just squish it. If it feels wet or if it feels like a sponge, it has enough moisture in it. You don't need to add any more. I usually let it kind of dry out, and then I go ahead and add a bunch of water. Again, it just has these little roots that are dangling. Some have way more than others, and it will just go ahead and suck it up. And then I do fertilize on the weekend. I do like a tiny splash, and this is literally my watering can right here. I probably fill up 6 of them and then just go back and forth between our master bathroom and our bedroom right here. And we have a lot to do. So I'm gonna start and probably do about the top row, and then I will do the bottom row later. But I just wanna show you how I go ahead and add more soil, and then we'll do a nice little time lapse. And then I gotta get on with finishing up some more of my greenhouse. So let's go. So I have my pre-moistened Pro Mix right here, and I didn't get it as wet as I normally would if I was seed starting, but just enough. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, if I have any tomatoes with some lower leaves, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and take them off, because as I'm adding soil, I'm sure I'm just gonna go ahead and damage them or hit them. Some of them are a little bit curled because it was actually really warm, and this room got to almost 80 degrees. We have huge windows if you haven't seen, so it does get warm. I have to kind of open up the window on the weekend, but surprisingly enough, we are actually, now again, it is March 23rd, getting a little dusting of snow tomorrow and like winter weather for a whole week or two. So that is no fun, but it's okay because that way this room doesn't get too warm. So again, I'm going to go ahead and take it, and I'm going to, it's literally as just simple as adding some more dirt to the top and compressing it. Oh my gosh, and tomatoes, they smell so good. So good. And what is gonna happen is, as you are burying the stem, it's gonna create more roots. So that is what you want. You want a nice, strong, healthy plant. Now I still have probably like a month and a half to go. And what I plan on doing is, once my greenhouse is up and running, is moving these to the greenhouse once it is warm enough in there and I don't need to go and have any kind of space heater. So I'm going to go ahead and again, just compress it. And I just left about an inch or so from the top of the rim. And I'm gonna leave that, and I'm just gonna literally keep on going and enjoy the beautiful smell of the tomato. So we'll do one more. Literally just gonna go ahead back here. Again, look at how nice and green these are. They are great. I am just so happy. So I'm gonna just go ahead and trim. Some of them are falling off. I left my fan on a little too high the other day. I tried to rotate sides. And I actually am not sure if this is two or if it just split, but there's two, but look at the roots. So the roots are getting nice and healthy. Again, all I am doing is just adding some more soil. And if you lose a leaf in the process, no worries. It will still be able to soak up the sun with some others that are on top. And we're just gonna keep compressing down and adding. And seriously, it's as simple as that. I'm probably gonna do some of this with my daughter later on. I have 2 walls built of the greenhouse, almost, except for the panels. And that is my goal to do the rest of the afternoon today. So it's nice and early morning. So again, left it about an inch from the top. And let's see if we can get one more. Here is another one that actually, the dirt is a little bit lower. But again, the roots are coming out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and prick this one off. So hopefully I don't damage anything too much. And this is just something that I can simply do at night. I'll probably keep working on this while the kids go to bed. Today is a Sunday, so hopefully we'll have some nap time luck as well. And then I can get some in before the week. But this will also help strengthen that stem a little bit too. I'm trying to go ahead and add a fan. I alternate sides because it's not strong. Well, it would be strong enough if I had it on high, but I'm trying not to damage my tomato plants in the process. All right, and there we go. It's literally as simple as that. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and do that. And then I will go ahead and water these when I see that the top is dry. And then we're just gonna keep on going from there. Just wanted to slow things down because I really wanted you to see how long this root is. My goodness. So again, this is why I love using this method of growing your tomatoes, because it just has these great root systems. It allows them to keep traveling down. They won't get root bound like they were, as you saw in my 6-cell pack, where I'm hoping those ones I can go ahead and do the same thing and pot them up, because I do plan on selling my extras at my stand that I plan on doing this year. But again, this is exactly why I just love it. The roots are going to be great, healthy, and strong. I actually did some garden cleanup. I was mulching and adding some organic matter. I was just cleaning up the backyard, and I was raking with my kids. It was so nice out yesterday. We spent literally the whole day outside, and I was just taking all the dead fallen leaves and I was just putting them inside, like, here's another good one right there, inside my garden beds to go ahead and get some more organic matter before we go ahead and get some more 50-50 mix. So I just do the garden blend. It's soil and compost, and we need to get a lot of it. I have my cut flower garden bed that I need to go ahead and fill up. I have another area where I'm going to be putting my dahlias. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm going to go ahead and use outside of my daughter's window again because it gets so much sun. And then my big perennial garden as well. Oh my gosh, I just have to show you this one too because it is crazy. Okay, look at this. I just love it. I'm so excited. It's just, summer is just right around the corner, I feel like, even though it just turned spring literally 3 days ago. But I am just so over the moon. I think also getting the greenhouse going is just getting me even more excited that these are going to be out in the garden. And I'm hoping that since I did start them again early, so you want to start these anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. I luckily have the space. My grow rack has a lot of space. I can make the lights go up a lot higher. I'm going to also, like I said, move them into the greenhouse at some point too once it's warm enough in there at night. I don't want to go ahead and buy a heater this year. That will be something that I want to go ahead and think of for next year. But again, this is a super sweet 100. So again, if you're new to tomatoes, there's 2 different types. There's determinate and indeterminate. Or indeterminate, it just will keep on growing and growing like these sweet 100s. I had them grow so tall that they actually flopped over and just kept growing even though they were hanging down. So I'll show you how to do the Florida weave. That was so helpful with my cherry tomatoes. And then you have the determinate ones where they will reach a maximum height. So it's just super, super exciting. I am just over the moon with the results of these. And again, like this is a super sweet 100 too. They just grow at different rates. This one just happens to be right under a light, but if you can just see how healthy they are. Again, so healthy. And this one, like I just watered, so it's a little bit wet, but super, super healthy. Definitely go ahead and make sure you get yourself fertilizer. Again, I try and use the organic, so I use Pro Mix. I love Pro Mix, and then I use the Fox Farm organic. I think it's like Grow Big, as I said. It's a big green bottle with a red tomato on it. It'll just keep them super healthy and happy until you go ahead and get them out in the garden. And that is it. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break. I did about 2 rows of them, and then I'm just going to keep continuing doing this throughout the week, probably at nighttime once bedtime is all set and ready to go and the kids are down. So that way I can do it. And I actually have been watching the Floret documentary series on Max, so it makes the time go by a lot faster. So again, if you are just going ahead and starting out and growing your tomatoes, like I technically right now could just start my seed starting about 8 weeks from my last frost date. Hopefully this is helpful for you. That way it can go ahead and maybe sway your decision on how you want to go ahead and grow your tomatoes. Again, I just got the Walmart brand Solo cups. You want to make sure you get the 18 ounce. And then I got the Solo clear ones. You can just go ahead to Costco and buy the big bulk ones. You don't need to have the clear ones. You definitely do need a marble though in between to go ahead, so that way the water can be sucked up and there's some space in there. But definitely, if you haven't seen, check out my video on how you go ahead and set this system up. I just highly support this. I feel like you just get the bigger and better tomatoes. And it's just crazy to think that this all just came from one little seed that I harvested in the fall. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you find this helpful, or if you want to stay updated with the whole tomato process, go ahead and click like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.